Hey everyone, welcome back. We are headed to DC and Philadelphia. And it's always hard to go to the East Coast this time of year. It's 70 degrees and beautiful in Phoenix. I'm headed to Washington, DC to keynote an event that they're having at the US Chamber of Commerce to talk about where education is and where it needs to be. And then I'm headed to Philadelphia for EdgyCon, my favorite conference in education. They have some real in-depth discussions. Everyone always leaves energized. Everyone always leaves with new ideas. And I go to listen to what educators are saying and what they're working on, everything around social justice, on equity, inquiry-based learning, how do you build curiosity, all the skills that I talk about. It's put on by Chris Lehman, who you'll meet, and the Science Leadership Academy. The students put on this conference. So flight to DC, and then taking a train up to Philadelphia, sorry.
About to leave, already packing, come with me, I'm not really asking, we'll get away to a place where we don't know.
See you Sunday.
All right. Headed to DC. Goodbye, beautiful Phoenix weather.
But you don't get that courage, cause you can handle my game. No, my drive's a puzzle. I got you so bumfuzzled, cause you can fall into my bed.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to Washington with a local time haircut.
Going to the Darcy Hotel. I never understand that security. Who's that stopping? Is there some assassin out there who's just a terrible assassin and he gets in the elevator, he can't press the button, and the person he's got to go kill and he just fails? Hey, welcome to Washington, DC. About to head over to the Chamber of Commerce to do my presentation, and I'm excited because it totally matches up with what I wanted to talk about in this video, which is perspective. One of the things that I'm going to talk about in this presentation is that education reformers all basically say the same thing. Education is broken. Education hasn't changed in 150 years. I don't believe that that's true. I mean, we've changed education in the last 10 years. The reason I bring this up is because I have a different perspective. And so you can choose to just accept what people say, or you can challenge it and you can look for your perspective. And again, it has to be original, but it also has to be authentic. And I can't say education is broken because it worked for me. Has it worked for everyone? Absolutely not. Can we do better? Yes, those things are all true, but it's a different perspective than education is broken. You're walking into a room full of educators who've focused their entire life and career on education, and you're saying to them, everything you do sucks. That's not my perspective. And I'm gonna walk in there and I'm gonna have a different perspective. I'm gonna have a different point of view. What is your point of view? What is your perspective on something? Do you accept something for face value? Or do you challenge it? Dive deeper into why people think a certain way. Because at the end of the day, the future is about having perspective. It's about having original thought, and that's what you should be focused on. If you just say education is broken, education hasn't changed, then I just think that you haven't studied the issue. You haven't really looked into it. What is your perspective on things? That's what we're going to talk about. Hopefully give them a different perspective in this presentation. Cool. All right, let's go. I need to go to 16th and K by the White House. Thank you, man.
Have a nice day.
You too. All right. First, I need some coffee.
I won't waste my love on your heart. Sorry, cause I
Hey.
See you, man.
How you doing?
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, good seeing you.
and I don't.
Hey. Hey.
How's it going?
Good, man. How you
I feel
doing?
with like next door neighbors, I don't even realize.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't
Okay.
ever read questions.
Okay. So then
Because then it's not.
yeah.
Then it's unscripted.
Yeah.
That's why I can't run for politics because I never know what's going to come out of my mouth. I don't necessarily believe that jobs are going to disappear. I believe that functions are going to disappear. I believe tasks are going to disappear. And again, that's happened throughout life. The skill that they need is the ability to constantly learn. And that starts with a self-assessment. That starts with, what do I know, what do I don't know, and how do I learn what I don't know? What am I excited about? So it's funny that you say that, because last week I talked to a bunch of students, and these were all high school kids. And I said, I am so jealous of you. When I look at an 18-year-old or my own 17-year-old, and I think about what's in front of him, and what's going to be available to him, what are we going to discover, what are we going to invent? Learning can happen faster now than any time in history, and that's really exciting, right? So how do we take advantage of that? That's what I'm excited about.
This is someone who is fully committed to modernizing the education system and the way we deliver learning. A mission-driven man with quite possibly the coolest job on the planet. And we are very fortunate to have him here with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Jamie Kassim.
This might be a little strange to say to this group, but I'm not one of those education reformers that talks about education being broken. I can't. It worked for me. And by the way, it also worked for all of you. It worked for millions of people, and I get to meet thousands of people who even grew up like I did who it worked for. Has it worked for everyone? Absolutely not. Can it be better? Absolutely. But I think it's the wrong message to walk in and say someone who's dedicated their life to education that, you're broken, as opposed to saying what we really need to say, which is what we need to do is take education to the next level.
Virginia is like has one of the highest per capita incomes, and none of that's happening in my school.
Successful communities are the hardest to change.
Megan's on the West Coast. Okay, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for your speech. I'm Tara Scarlett.
Hi, nice to meet you.
If you're involved, folks.
Okay, I definitely did not bring my warmest clothes. All right, I'm about to head to a meeting this morning. Then I have to sit on a board call, and then I'm getting on a train heading to Philadelphia.
Everything around me changing again and again. Can't stay in this dead end relation.
This is a pretty cool building.
I feel everything inside me changes over and over.
How long? Okay, sounds good. So I'm on a board meeting. I'm squatting here at the Gallup building in Washington, D.C. Anyway, they're on break. I want to take this moment to continue the conversation about perspective. You have a perspective. You have a point of view. You have a way of looking at the world. And if you build that perspective, if you base it on evidence, you base it on data, you base it on experience, you base it on thoughtfulness, then you should share that perspective. You're always going to feel like nobody wants to hear what you have to say, or no one thinks you're smart. Doesn't matter what you end up doing, that is always how you're going to feel at the beginning. And if you wait to be confident, or if you wait to be validated before you start talking, before you give your perspective, then it's not going to happen. Last night I launched my YouTube channel. I clicked publish on the 2 videos that I uploaded, and I had butterflies in my stomach. And the entire time I'm thinking, and I'm still thinking this way, nobody cares. Nobody's listening to this. Nobody wants to hear my perspective. You always have that feeling. It's literally like jumping off the edge, right? Because once you jump off, there's nothing to grab onto anymore. But you gotta jump. And trying to reach back and grab onto the edge isn't gonna work. So it doesn't matter how much experience you have, you need to jump off the edge. You have to control what you can control. And what you can control is having a thoughtful, deep, thought out perspective based on evidence, data, experience. Do that work. That's your job. Get it out into the world and let people react to it. I'm gonna jump back on the call. Headed to the train. I like taking trains. Going to Union Station.
Living in a line easy. I don't want it no more. I know one of us is going crazy.
let it go. I feel
I do miss this about the East Coast, the old giant buildings.
again.
Going to the Westin?
Our love is tainted, yeah, tainted.
Thank you.
Blind and we don't know why.
What is the deal with the security elevator with the card?
Losing
So headed over to the Science Leadership Academy for EdgyCon. They start on Friday night with a panel, and I'm a little bit late, so let's go. Saturday morning, heading over to the Science Leadership Academy for EdgyCon. And here's the thing about this perspective angle. These are the perspectives that I want to hear. And the topics are topics that you don't normally hear at other education conferences. Here, let me give you an example. Building space in schools for Black girls to explore their identities and close the leadership gap. Opening our eyes to what we can't imagine, storytelling. What does it mean to teach for justice? Passion-based learning to discover why for learning. And those are just some of the sessions. I'm excited to be here. All right.
give me something new. I want it back through and through. Just do it. I'll let you rule. I know you like to break the rules, and my cry is being too good for you. I'm just
What is EdgyCon? At its root, EdgyCon is a pedagogical conference, right? It's a conference that is not about any one discipline or subject, but is fundamentally about this idea: how do we investigate the question of what does it mean to create modern schools and to support and sustain modern schools? And the axioms of EdgyCon, the idea that schools need to be inquiry driven, they need to be networked, they need to be places of power for all that inhabit them. I think at its root, this idea is: what does it mean to create modern schools and sustain them? Pedagogy of the conference is the same pedagogy that we want to see people going back to their classrooms and schools and embedding. This is, we learn the way we should be teaching, right? EdgyCon has also, over 12 years, become a community. The spirit of EdgyCon and what we do here exists. And then, of course, EdgyCon is also SLA, right? It is inseparable from what we do here in the school. The fact that it's a conference that is in and of, that it is of its place, and that you can spend a day before the conference, the official conference starts, seeing what these ideas look like in practice in a real live school in Philadelphia, and talk to kids and talk to parents and talk to teachers and talk about what it means to learn this way and to be involved in this every day, I think is a really powerful thing. Yeah, that's EdgyCon. Thank you.
Up early on a Sunday morning, headed back to Phoenix. Had an amazing time at EdgyCon. All right, headed back to Phoenix. Let's go. Jamie, yeah. So 15 years living in the country, living in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And so what you think of the United States of America is Philadelphia.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know,
that's,
yeah.
this
I
is
like
not
it.
America.
Yeah.
Philadelphia is its own country. Traveling is a good investment in yourself.
Yep,
It gives you a
yep.
different perspective on things.
Uh-huh.
All right, get yourself out there.
I know, man.
Go,
I
go
won't.
visit someplace. All right.
Thanks so much. I appreciate
Thank you. When I was 35, I'm still playing with 20-year-olds because you're probably still playing with young guys, right?
I'm playing a lot of young guys.
Yeah, so I was playing with 20-year-olds and 21-year-olds, and I'm like, I can't wait to play in an over 40 league, right? Are you thinking that? Here's the secret. When you play in an over 40 league, these aren't people who just started playing basketball. These are ex-college, ex-NBA players.
Pros, yeah.
It's worse.
Yeah, it is.
They're
It is.
better than the
So you gotta
20-year-olds.
rethink